Hi, everybody. It's Michael Levitis from JurisQ.com. I'm here back with Alla Kurolapnik, a divorce attorney that practices mediation in your divorce proceeding. Alla, thanks so much for your time. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Michael.
We're going to talk today about a very practical issue that has legal and real life consequences. And drawing from your past experience, from working with your clients, we're going to talk about introducing your boyfriend or girlfriend or both to your spouse while going through a divorce. What do you think is the best way to do it, and how it could possibly affect your divorce proceeding?
So I think, the introduction of significant other plays a very big role in a divorce when you have children.
Right.
It's already a heightened emotional state that the parties are in. And depending upon how much the kids know and the age of the children, this can be a very significant issue. In other words, if you're introducing a significant other to a 2-year-old, they don't know, chances are there's really little effect,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But if you're introducing a significant other to a 7, 8, 9, 10, and on, somebody, teenagers, tweens, right? Or even sometimes adult children, it could have a very significant emotional impact
Okay.
on the children and your soon to be ex-spouse. So
Mhm.
this is an area where I tread lightly. This is one of those things where, I encourage my clients to tell me whether or not they have a significant other, right? Because then we can as a lawyer, we can navigate together how to do that.
Mhm.
In mediation, I've often used either psychotherapists,
Okay.
parent coordinators,
Mhm.
or other divorce professionals that can help the couple jointly understand and figure out when is the appropriate time and how to introduce their significant others to the children.
Okay.
If there is no significant other at the time, but you foresee that the couple is young enough. Listen, if I'm divorcing a 65-year-old, 70-year-old couple, I'm not sure if there's going to be any more children. And at that point, chances are there are probably adult children in the picture, right? But again, this is all hypotheticals. Every situation is very different. Every family dynamic is very different.
Right.
So in the cases where you have small children and you're young enough and you know that there's a possibility that you'll likely will remarry or you want to remarry, and there's a likelihood that there may be other kids involved in the future, then one of the things that I encourage couples to put into their agreement are what I call safeguards and floors and
Okay.
ceilings about how and when significant others are introduced.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
for instance, in in a mediated divorce agreement, if there's young children and we know that either there's somebody now that that person is dating and they know they want to introduce them in the future, or they foresee themselves, getting remarried and rebuilding their romantic and family life again. Um, then these are safeguards we put in. And for instance, we can negotiate this and say, you know, how about we put a timeline? So, in other words, unless you're dating this person for a minimum of 6 months, there's no introduction. And
Okay.
before any introduction, there has to be a discussion between the two parents.
Mhm.
Some parents may even go as far as to say, and I'm not a big fan of this, but this is just my personal interpretation, to say, I want to meet that person before
Mhm.
you introduce them. Now, legally, there's no obligation to do that.
I see.
And certainly, from a personal preference, I'm not sure how comfortable I would feel doing that or putting my new significant spouse into that sort of situation.
Good point. Yeah.
But it's certainly eventually they will meet, because especially if there's kids involved and you're eventually going to be a step parent to those children,
Mhm.
right? Then your ex-spouse and your current spouse or your current significant other, if that's the road you're going on, will meet. You'll have shared responsibilities for the children, pickups, drop-offs, holidays, and it becomes sort of like almost a blended family, if you will. And I think it's short-sighted of people not to see that in the future. And I think it's short-sighted of them not to put provisions in the agreement when, like I said, they're already so emotionally charged, and it may spark up some really uncomfortable feelings in the future unless there's some ways to sort of safeguard each other and minimize that emotional spark.
Oh, you're amazing. You're not just an attorney, but you're also almost like a family therapist where you are giving, practical advice for the mental health of everybody involved, especially the children. So I definitely recommend hiring an attorney like that has the empathy and understanding and can guide you along in various moving parts of a divorce. And of course, introducing your significant other to the other spouse and to the kids is a very significant milestone in development of a divorce. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and practical advice on it. Definitely talk to an attorney like Alla Kurolapnik before taking such a drastic step to get the proper guidance. The phone number of Alla Kurolapnik is on the bottom of the screen. Everybody's welcome to call for a consultation. Alla, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, for sharing your thoughts, for educating us. And we're going to bring you back next month with more advice on divorce and mediations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.